Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. I make videos about marriage to a woman from the Philippines, but these relationship videos would qualify for anyone pretty much. And today I want to talk about signs that you are not an easy person to get along with. And this is something to think about before you get involved with somebody from, let's say, the Philippines, where they don't really understand Western men. But this will bother them, so please take this to heart, leave a comment here, and subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea. This comes from author Lachlan Brown from globalediting.com. 10 signs you're not actually an easy person to get along with. They say many of us like to think we're the life of the party, the person everyone gravitates towards, but sometimes reality is a little different. According to psychology, there may be signs that suggest you're not as easy to get along with as you'd like to believe. Navigating social interactions can be a complex task. Like marriage, it's not always about having the loudest laugh or the most interesting stories. Often it's your actions, reactions, and how you treat others that truly speak volumes. So here's the 10 signs you're not actually an easy person to get along with. Number 1, you're often the center of attention. We all love a moment in the spotlight. It can be intoxicating to have all eyes on you, soaking in your every word. But there's a fine line between sharing and dominating conversations. Psychology suggests that individuals who constantly seek attention can be challenging to get along with. People who always need to be the center of attention may display a lack of empathy and consideration for others. It's one thing to share your experiences and thoughts, but if every conversation revolves around you, it might be a sign that you're not as easy to get along with as you think. It's essential to listen to others and give them their time to shine too. Communication is a two-way street. Balance is key. Again, leave a comment here if you can relate to any of this or have seen this in a relationship you've had. 2, you struggle with empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's a crucial aspect of forming deep, meaningful relationships. However, if you find yourself struggling to empathize with others, it might be a sign you're not as easy to get along with as you'd hope. And they say that they remember a time when a friend was going through a tough breakup and she was devastated and needed support. And instead of being there for her, this author found themselves dismissing her feelings, thinking she was overreacting. It wasn't until later that he realized that the lack of empathy had hurt more. And this lack of empathy can create a barrier in relationships. If we can't understand or validate other people's feelings, it can make them feel isolated or misunderstood. A third way you're not as easy to get along with as you might think. You're resistant to change. Change is an inevitable part of life, whether it's small adjustments or significant life events. We all have to deal with it at some point. However, they say if you find yourself constantly resisting change, again, a sign you might not be easy to get along with. Research suggests that individuals who resist change can come across as inflexible and difficult in social interactions. The world around us is constantly evolving, and so are the people in it. If you're not willing to adapt and grow with these changes, we can inadvertently push people away. I'm not going to read everything here for lack of time, but number 4, you're always right. And we all like to be right. It's a natural human desire, but if you find yourself always insisting on being right, even in trivial matters, that might be a sign that you're not easy to get along with. Maintaining a know-it-all attitude, they say, can create a barrier in communication and make others feel unheard or belittled. It's important to remember that everyone has unique perspectives and experiences to share. We can learn so much by simply listening to others and considering their viewpoints. Being open-minded and accepting that we can be wrong sometimes can significantly improve our interpersonal relationships. After all, no one knows everything, and there's always room for growth and learning. Number 6, you have a hard time admitting faults. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, have our own set of flaws. But if you find it challenging to admit your faults or apologize when you're wrong, it could be a sign that you're not easy to get along with. Not as easy as you'd like to think. Acknowledging our mistakes and apologizing shows Maturity and respect for others can also help to resolve conflicts and prevent them from escalating. On the flip side, constantly deflecting blame or refusing to address your own shortcomings can damage relationships and create tension. It's okay to be wrong. It's what we learn from it that truly matters. Number 6, you struggle with active listening. These are really good points. Communication, not just about talking, it's equally about listening. Some would say that's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Active listening involves genuinely focusing on the speaker, understanding their message, reflecting, responding. However, if you find yourself often zoning out or interrupting others while they're speaking, it might signal that you're not easy to get along with. Number 7, you're often negative. We all have those days where everything seems to be going wrong, and maintaining a positive outlook can feel like quite the challenge. However, consistently adopting a negative attitude can make it difficult for people to enjoy your company. And they say that they remember a time in their life when they let their negative thoughts guide their actions. And it was during a challenging period they found themselves complaining often and focusing on the negatives. And it wasn't until a friend gently pointed out to them that this constant negativity was impacting their friendship, and they began to make an active effort to shift their mindset. Number 8, you avoid conflict. It might seem like avoiding conflict would make it easier to get along, wouldn't it? Well, surprisingly, the opposite might be true. They say if you're someone who constantly sidesteps disagreements or hard conversations, it might indicate that you're not easy to get along with as you think. And they, interjecting here, they say Filipinas are not, they're kind of afraid of conflict. Maybe more than other women. And, you really you can't avoid conflict. And conflict, they say, when handled appropriately, can lead to growth and deeper understanding. It's an opportunity to express your feelings, understand each other's perspectives, and work towards a resolution. However, constantly avoiding conflict can lead to unresolved tensions and misunderstandings. And number 9, you're overly critical. Constructive criticism can be helpful and lead to improvement. However, if you find yourself often criticizing others harshly without considering their feelings or the impact of your words, it might be a sign that you're not easy to get along with. Being overly critical can make others feel inadequate or defensive. It can create a negative environment and make people hesitant to engage with you. And it's essential to remember that everyone is doing their best from their level of understanding and experience. Offering feedback kindly and constructively can lead to better outcomes rather than just pointing out flaws. One more here. You struggle to show gratitude. This is a way that you're not easy to get along with. You struggle to show gratitude, which is a powerful tool in building and maintaining relationships. If you find it difficult to express appreciation or acknowledge the good in others, it could signal that you're not easy to get along with, not as much as you'd like. Showing gratitude creates a positive environment and helps others feel valued. It's a simple act that can have profound effects on your relationship. And they say, don't forget to say thank you, acknowledge others' efforts, and express appreciation. It's these small acts of kindness that can make a big difference. So leave a comment here on this topic about how to know if you're not easy to get along with. There may be some blind spots in everybody, so I hope I have helped expose some of those for the good of your future relationship without stepping on anybody's toes. These things here apply to me as well. And if we're going to get married, we should want to be somebody that is easy to get along with and can be having very open communication so that we can be understood and we can understand the others. So please subscribe here and leave a comment here on Love Beyond the Sea.